Hi guys, so in this video we'll see a few ways in which we can upload files or import your datasets to Google Colab. So as we all know, Google Colab has been gaining popularity. More and more people who are getting into machine learning, deep learning have been using it. So let's see through one issue which we face when we are working on Colab, and that is importing your datasets or importing your files. So it's pretty easy for smaller files, but what happens when the file size is large? How do you deal with it? So let's have a look. So let's start with the basic way how you can do it, and then we'll go on to looking into better ways which we can do. So the easiest way is just to right click on your, so I have created a new runtime here which is completely empty, if you can see. So I have around 30 GB of disk space left here. So this is a sample folder you'll get whenever you create a Google Colab instance. So it has some basic toy datasets for your working part. So let's assume I have a small file here train.csv. So let's say I want to upload this file. So for small data like this, using the, so this is just I think 60 KB in size. So for such small data you can just right click here and you can click on upload, and then you can select your path. So I'll select this train.csv, yeah, and it will give you a note that when your runtime gets over, this file will also get deleted. But no issues. You can see in your files tab you have your train.csv here. So you can just let me just try importing pandas and checking once. Okay, so when this is done, you can just load your files. Yeah, we're able to load successfully, and generally the path starts from this directory, so you do not need to give anything else. If you want the absolute path, you can right click on this file and click on copy path. So this would give you the entire path. So /content /train.csv, anything is fine. Okay, yeah, so this upload thing is for smaller files. I would say at least files which are less than 150 MB is what you can do here. But the issue with this thing is you need to do it each time you upload a Colab notebook. So it needs to be done repeatedly, and it does not work for like huge files. So let's go to the next way how you can do it. Yeah, so another way, which is a very popular way of doing this, is first uploading your files to your drive, that is your Google Drive. Okay, and then download the file in Colab. Okay, so for example here, this is my Google Drive and I have created a folder called datasets, and here I have a few files. So let's say I want to access this soundwave.csv file in my Google Colab. So how do we do it? So for this you just need to write 2 lines of code. So this is something Colab provides inbuilt. So it says from google.colab import drive and then drive.mount. So when you execute this, what this would do is this would actually mount all the contents of your Google Drive to your Google Colab instance. So I'll just run this. So it asks you to verify your account. So go here, make sure you choose the same Google Drive on which you are running the Colab. Okay, so I'll choose my drive. Okay, you just need to give it the appropriate permissions, and at last you'll get this authentication code. Just copy it and paste it here. You can click on enter. Okay, so it takes some time, it verifies and if you see, it says your drive has been mounted at /content/drive. Okay, so if I refresh this my files, so previously we had sample data, we now have a folder called drive. Okay, and this my drive is actually my whole Google Drive mounted to the Google Colab server. So I had my folder datasets, and here I had my file, that is raw.csv. So I can just give it here and I can load it. So that's how you do it. You first upload your files to Google Drive, then you connect your Google Drive to your Google Colab. using this 2 lines of code. So also you do not need to write this code each and every time. So there's an option here at the left side which says mount drive. So if you just click on this, it would automatically fill this code for you. You will just have to authenticate it. So this is the second way. So just to make you clear, whatever files we have in our drive, although it is mounted here, it is not in our current instance. So what do I mean by instance is, whenever you run a Google Colab server, it provisions certain amount of disk space to your current running instance. So if you see, yeah, in the resources tab, we have around 46 GB, 100 GB disk, in which 46 GB is used. So keep in mind, your contents of Google Drive are not considered within this your current runtime space. So there is one issue with loading files from drive in this format. So if you use the path of your drive like I have used here, so let's say you are using this path, okay, you are using this path, okay. So what Colab does internally is, when it sees content slash drive, it actually goes to your drive which is mounted, it goes here and it fetches the file and it loads into your current Colab memory. Okay, this is fine when you have a single file, when you have a zip file which is very small. But let's take for example you are training a CNN or a convolution neural network on some image dataset. So in that case you will have thousands of images, and when you are actually training the model, I mean when you're training your machine learning model on that dataset, for each image it will go to the drive and keep on fetching, and it will be pretty much slower. So if you want, you can test it out. You can upload 1000 images of any dataset to your drive and then run your model. You'll see that your model will take a long amount of time. Why? Because for each image it goes to your drive and then copies it to your current instance, and then it gives you the model for training. So there is some delay. But if your files are present in your current runtime, that is in this folder, not in the drive, then speed up is boosted. So you can read faster files when you are in the current runtime. So reading files from drive will be slower. For smaller files it's fine, but for larger files it's not recommended. So what you can do is, once you mount your drive, so let's say you have a zip file somewhere, okay, so let's say I want this file. Instead of directly running it from your drive, what you can do is you can copy this file to your current Colab instance and then run. So how do you do it is simple. Whenever you want to use Unix or Linux commands in Google Colab, you just give exclamation mark followed by your command. So you just use the copy command. So I'll use the copy command to copy the content from this to my current directory, that is my current path. So I'll do this and I'll just refresh, and you see I have created a copy of soundraw.csv in my current directory, not in the drive. So accessing files directly from here is faster compared to drive. So in this case it won't make a difference because it is just one CSV, but let's say you have a folder with around 100 files, so it's better you copy the content first from your drive to this particular current directory and use it. Okay, yeah, so that's one way of using your drive content. But as you see, there is a certain overhead here, that is, each time you run your Google Colab instance, you would need to run this lines of code, authenticate it, and again do the same steps again. So let's say you are training a model repeatedly. So let's say you open this drive tomorrow, you would need to do the same steps. So let's look into another way in which you can download files from drive without doing all this authentication step. Okay, so for that there is a utility called gdown, okay, in Google Colab itself. It's a library, it's a Python library which allows you to download files from drive. And remember, with this you can also download files from other people, other accounts. But the only catch in this is, in order to use gdown, the files which you are trying to fetch should be made public. So I'll just show it to you. So all these files, so when you click on right click any file and click on share, get link, or you click on share, you get the option here to change who can access these files. So to use gdown, you need to make sure that it is set to anyone with a link. This is the prerequisite. So if you want to use with gdown, you just make whatever file you want to be public. You copy the link here, okay, and I'll paste the link here. If you see, you remove this last trailing part, view sharing, and you remove the initial part till /d/. So this remaining part is actually the ID of your file. So you can get the ID. This is the ID 1pb till tsi. For any files, you can just share it with anyone and then copy the link, and this string here is your ID. So the command is simple: !gdown -ID space followed by your Google file ID. Okay. So what this would do is, this would download your particular file to your current directory. Okay. So what's the advantage of using this? You do not need these commands. You do not need to authenticate each and every time you do it. So let's say, okay, I'll just remove all the commands. Okay, I'll delete all the files here. Delete file. Okay, so let's say now you have re-initialized your Google Colab instance after some days. So you can just go on executing these files lines as it is. It will download and then place it here. Okay, so this is faster and more convenient to use. You do not need to mount each time. But the only downside is that this file needs to be shared with everyone. It needs to be made public. If you're fine with that, then this seems to be a more feasible way of doing it. And the better thing is, let's say you have 10 files which you want to download. So you can just give the IDs of all the files and you can run it at an instance. So it will download all the files. So you do not have to do it manually, like manually upload from Drive. So yeah, this is how we could get the data from Drive. Still, when we are dealing with Google Drive, it's a lot better than uploading from your local image, local PC here. But still, we have some storage limitations in Google Drive, as a free Google Drive account has only 15 GB of space. So that may be a concern. So if you see in our current Colab instance, we have around 60 GB of space free. So 60 GB, but the maximum which Drive can support is 15 GB. So how do we get some other data? So if you're looking for Kaggle datasets, so Kaggle provides a very handy Kaggle API. So you can just go to the documentation. I'll not get into this. So this is specifically for Kaggle sites. If you just Google out Kaggle API, it's on GitHub. Also, it's a public documentation available. Okay. So yeah, so if you go through the kaggle.docs/API, you'll get all the details, how to use it and everything. So this is pretty much simple. So what you would need to do is, you would need to go to your profile first. In your profile, profile, go to your account. Okay, here if you scroll down, you will see Kaggle API. Okay, so what you need to do is, you just need to click on create new API token. So this will create a kaggle.json file which you will need to download, and each time you call this API, you need to make sure that you upload your kaggle.json file here, and then downloading the dataset simple. So let's go to any one dataset. So let's say dogs and cats. You need this. You can just copy this path and you can just run it here. This is what you can do. But remember, for this you would need to upload the kaggle.json file first, which you obtain from this particular API. So let's not get into the Kaggle part. So let's look into one more very useful plugin for Chrome. So the name is curl wget Chrome plugin. Okay, you can download it from this link. It's available in the Chrome Web Store. So it has been used by 4,000 users. So make sure you add it to Chrome, and you'll get the icon at the top which shows this. So what this does is, whenever you download a file from the internet, you actually in the backend make a curl request, a curl wget request in the backend. So what this extension does is it tries to like capture what request you have made. So once you have that request, you can make the same request on any Linux machine or on Colab in this instance. So I'll show you how it's done. So let's say, so I'm in the chest X-rays images dataset here. So it's around 1.24 GB of size dataset. Okay. So what I'll do now is I'll download the dataset here. I click on download. Okay. So now I'll not save it. So just downloading, I'm getting this screen means in the backend Chrome sent a request and I was able to get a file. I'll just click on cancel here. Now I'll go to this curl wget extension. Okay, and if you see, we see a wget call made here. Just copy this whole thing. Okay, copy this whole thing, and then this is an Ubuntu command or a Linux command. So give exclamation and paste the whole thing as it is. Okay, and click on this. Yeah, and if you see, it's now downloading the file. And remember, this does not use your internet connection, it uses Colab's internal internet. So the downloading speed is way faster. Yeah, so if you see, we had around 1.5 GB, it's downloaded everything. So we had, yeah, archive.zip, and it's downloading the whole thing here. Yeah, and we can find the archive.zip file here. Okay, so next we could just extract this here itself. So for extraction we can use exclamation followed by unzip and just give the name of the dataset. Yeah, it just inflates or extracts all the files into a proper folder. So using this, instead of going for the Kaggle API or downloading this and putting into a drive and then going further, you can just do this. So you need to get the wget call which is made, and then you just need to run it in Colab. That should work fine. So yeah, it will take some time because it's a 2 GB of extraction. The only issue with this is you need to get the proper wget call made first, and second, this call I think expires after an hour or so. So if you come and use this same thing tomorrow, it would give you an error like could not find the path. So in that case, you would need to go to the same sites here and download. So this is extremely useful when the data set size is extremely huge. So let's say it's 20-30 GB. So in that case, you can download it, not just wait till you get the download prompt, get the curl extension curl downloaded, get the exact wget call made, and then push it here. Yeah, so the extraction was done. So there's a folder called chest X-ray in which we have all the data. So this is extremely helpful. And remember, this does not work only with Colab but any resource available on the internet. So any resource which you are able to download via using a browser, and you can fetch the wget header for this, it should work fine. It should work across your GitHub or any other sites. So yeah, this is not specific to Kaggle, but I just wanted to show it to you on Kaggle because it's widely used. So this is extremely helpful. So let's assume you have a dataset which is of size 30 GB and drive obviously would not support it. So either you can use Kaggle API if it's in Kaggle, if not you can just use this method. This will work way lot faster and this is better. Yeah, so I think that's it. So these are the 4 methods which you can use. First one is upload directly into your Colab instance using this upload tab. Second, do it via drive. So there are 2 options there. Either you upload to your drive and mount it, that is one, or else if you want to make the file public, do it and then use the gdown. That's the 2 things. Third, you can use Kaggle API. That's great. If you are looking for datasets from Kaggle, that's you can do Kaggle. And the last one is fetching dataset using the curl wget extension, which works perfectly fine. Yeah, I hope this was useful.